The third installment of the African Critical Minerals Summit is convened under the theme, The True Value of Africa's Critical Minerals, Strategic Focus on Value Addition. The summit put the spotlight on Africa's potential to lead in the global critical minerals sector through beneficiation, policy innovation and sustainable growth. With geopolitical developments affecting the continent, President of the South African Junior Mining Council, Fred Arendse, says the continent must use its minerals as leverage on the global stage.
We have enough policies in place. What's important is actually to action those policies and to find those synergies. And here we need to thank Donald Trump, the President of America, that has actually put a lot of pressure on Africa, and that actually, action everybody into high mode to see how best do we collaborate as a continent and how best do we explore and exploit the minerals that we have. And I think in time, the US and the West will see, the value that we as a continent can create with or without them.
Aims to position the continent not only as a resource hub, but as a leader in shaping the narrative around sustainable extraction, local beneficiation and inclusive economic growth. Africa Minerals Strategy Group's Patrick Melinda Lubenga says it becomes a race against time to make this a reality.
We host the biggest reserves of these metals required in the transition. But what are we saying as the Africa Minerals Strategy Group is that we will not be suppliers as we have been. We have supplied the world for a very, very long time. This time we want to be strategic partners. And what does that mean? We locally want to process, even if it means primary processing at home. Then we can export. But above all, we want the industries to be here. And it's possible.
Minerals are important for the global just energy transition, digital transformation and opportunities to industrialize economies and create jobs. Energy expert Professor Samson Mampueli speaks on the importance of beneficiation.
This morning's discussions also touched on the issues around the cost of electricity and the fact that it's starting to affect the economy with some of the industries starting to shut down. So that's where critical minerals and local beneficiation comes on board in terms of safeguarding the electricity prices going forward. When we do local beneficiation, we basically reduce the price of the goods, which basically gets passed over to the goods, to the prices of the electricity.
The African Union has been called upon to be intentional in including local beneficiation of critical minerals as part of economic strategies for the future.
South Africa is the #1 supplier of platinum to the USA, but today the USA wants to detect the model of trade via tariffs, which is very unfortunate. DRC has lots of minerals, but they've been cornered by US. So we need to go onto the table and say this is what we have. It's either you come onto the table on our own terms, not your terms. Then we can negotiate in terms of extraction and in terms of processing in-house, and then in terms of the global market itself. So that is the strength that we have. We can't be begging while we have the resources.
The summit comes as South Africa is formalizing small-scale artisanal mining, with delegates also touching on the issue of illegal mining. The African Free Continental Trade Area has been highlighted as one of the avenues to help economies on the continent. Day one of the 2025 African Critical Minerals Summit drawing to a close with calls for transparency, clean governance and regional integration in realizing the true potential of the critical minerals. There's also talk of investments in the building of infrastructure for local beneficiation of these minerals. Katla Rodi, SABC News in Johannesburg.